What's up, everybody? This is Rob Wilds.
And this is Chris Casanova.
And hey, if you're enjoying WrestleShoot, please make sure to hit the like and subscribe button.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, man. You don't got to smash it. Just press it.
We can't do this without you.
That's right. So please join the WrestleShoot family by clicking that like and subscribe. Hey, everybody. It's Rob Wilds here, and we are just about to start episode 15, but I had to record this in advance. We're having our old buddy, Marty Janetty, the rocker himself, on the program. And man, we had such a damn good time that we just lost all sense of ourselves. And we ended up going for like 2 hours. So this podcast is going to have to be a two-parter. And I just wanted to let you guys know going into it. So here we go. Enjoy the show.
2, 1.
Congratulations! You have found WrestleShoot, hosted by the Wild Thing Rob Wilds and the ladies' man Chris Casanova. Combined, we have 40 years of wrestling experience, and we're here to share those experiences, stories, and knowledge with you over the podcast airwaves. We'll be joined by friends of ours from time to time to share their stories and experiences with you as well. So climb aboard the crazy train we call WrestleShoot. We know how to do it, and we do it real well. Oh,
Bigger,
sweet Jesus. Sweet Jesus, we're back. Chris, we're back for episode 15. I'm your host, Rob Wilds, joined, of course, by the lovely and talented, the ladies' man, Chris Casanova. What's up, brother?
Hello, man. What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Today we have a very special guest to celebrate number 15. An old buddy of ours. I won't say he's geriatric, but he's close. He's the great, the fantastic, the wonderful.
I'm going to call the police on you for that.
Marty Goddamn Janetty!
Up and down! Rocking the rolling, pushing, throwing, slamming and jamming and moving and grooving.
Marty knows how to do it, and he does it real well. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest with the listeners. We did.
That would be nice. That'd make their day.
Hey, shut your goddamn mouth for a minute. We'll be honest with our listeners and say we got about this far into the podcast a minute ago, and I disconnected Chris, and we had to start over. So, everybody,
about like 3 times.
everybody on the line, and everybody listening to this podcast on the count of 3, say Rob fucked up. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Rob fucked up.
All right, I'll take
Rob
it. I'll own it.
up.
I said say it once, goddammit.
Rob fucking it's not, and he will fuck up again. Fuck up again.
Have I told you yet that I don't like you?
Yeah, one time, but you didn't mean it.
I didn't mean it. Yo, Chris, when we actually disconnected you by mistake, when I was bringing you back up, we was reminiscing about the good old plancha splash that he did on me when we couldn't get Rick Michaels to get the hell out of the way. We had to push him.
Oh, yeah.
I did not I did not spot. You moved.
I did not move. I caught you. You came down on me like a feather, man. It was artwork.
Oh, man, that used to be light.
I have been plancha'd 100 times, and nobody ever did it.
Not by Sonny.
Nobody has done it as professionally as you. It was great.
You ever get planchoed by Sonny?
See, I'd love to get plancha'd by Sonny back in the day.
Oh, no. She started doing pornos, and it got big down there.
Yeah. She's packed them on, but back in the good old Sunny days, she could jump on me.
Yeah, she was something in her day. You know, I could never throw any. Well, I don't want to be rude on TV. I could never throw no dick at her because I liked, her boyfriend. I guess they might even been married for a minute. Chris Candido.
I don't think they were married.
They were together forever, and he loved her so much, man. And I liked him, he was my boy, so I could never throw Sean and them when they had Davey Boy in particular. They would have had threw the meat at her anyway.
Well, Brett got on her too, right?
Do what?
Brett got on her too, right?
I think Sean. That was Sean and Brett's first fallout because I think they were both tearing it up.
I honestly, I mean, I'll give Brett credit for being a great worker, but I just kind of think, like, in bed, he just lays there and makes them get on top and just lays there talking.
Like a starfish pup. He just lays there with his arms and legs open.
And talks about how great he is.
Starfish?
He talks about how great he is and how everybody else sucks while she's doing all the work.
You know what? I love Brett. We're good friends. But, I mean, I think it was WrestleMania 12 where him and Sean had the Iron Man match.
Yeah.
It was like the Ego Express going on. Both of them were bragging about themselves for the whole weekend. And it was like, man, shut up.
Now, was I the only one who thought that Iron Man match was a fucking snore?
If you stayed awake after the first 20 minutes, it became good. But
all right.
you had to set an alarm clock to wake you up, though.
Well, okay, we're at 60 minutes. They should be going home now.
Yeah, or get to moving because it was a headlock takeover sitting there for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, they were trying to work like it was the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work a 20-minute armbar. Yeah.
That Bruno Sammartino was good at that.
Yeah, well, Bruno Sammartino was good at a lot of things, especially handing me my ass in wrestling school.
You know what? Wasn't he from Pittsburgh, where you're living right now?
Yeah. I was in Sacramento at the time, though, training with Paul DeMarco, and he showed up there to run a clinic, and he pretty much handed me my ass, and I refused to tap, and then he decided he liked me.
Larry Zbyszko got his ass once.
Oh, yeah? Got Bruno?
Yeah. Well, work-wise.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm talking shoot-wise. Bruno had me wrapped up and stretched up and was whispering in my ear, like, you'll never be in a ring again. This is your last day in the business unless you tap. And I was like, fuck you, old man. He liked me.
Yeah, you should have farted on him.
Yeah, so he can rip my shoulder out? That sounds great. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you know what? I got nothing against him. You try to respect your veterans, but when I had to go to court for a guy that broke his neck during a match on what we call the rocker dropper. And he did the shit all wrong. He tried to do the, Jake the Snake's DDT.
And then he sued you for it.
And he sued me, and he sued WWE and everybody. And San Martino got this, he had this big grudge against, WWE or whatever. And so he went to court as their expert witness and said, the rocker dropper can't be done safely. Well, motherfucker, first of all, the only thing you ever did in your whole career was a headlock and a damn arm drag. How the fuck would you know?
Hey. Don't take away from Bruno's bear hug.
And he did, yeah. Well, you just stand there.
20-minute bear hug?
20-minute bear hug.
Yeah, you just stand there and look at the crowd.
Yeah, we had a hell of a good time last time you was in town with us. Woo!
I don't know if we were partying, but I think we were.
Oh.
Afterwards.
Oh, we partied the night before, the night of, and then a little bit the morning before we took you back to the airport.
You kept saying that whole weekend, we got to get crackulating.
Yeah, that's right. Percolating,
yeah.
That was good times watching you jump up on the stage at the strip club dancing on the pole.
That was great, man.
And the bouncers were so fucking cool about it. They're like, dude, can you get him down? I was like, yeah, I'll try. Marty, car bar, come on. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there was a couple of pretty girls there that one of them did go home with us by accident.
By accident. It only took a little chloroform and a rag, but she accidentally.
Yeah, we didn't have to pay her though.
Nope. Are you kidding me, man?
That was the best part.
I had girls going home with you. I had girls go home with Jimmy Snuka one time, man. I had those girls in that titty bar wrapped.
You know why that is?
Because I'm the shit.
Well, you had it going on.
That's right, brother. That was a good time. I remember we gave you Mike Rain, and he was like one of my newest acquisitions, and I saw big things for this guy, and I'm like, you know what?
He was kind of pretty good.
The thing is, he was fast. I said, if he gets in the ring, goes too fast with Marty, he's going to snatch him up and bring him back down to face, and that's going to be hilarious. And you did that like 3 times.
He was good, man.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good.
You know, Tyler. I think he went as Tyler Black. That's what's his name, man? He was winning three count. Not 3 count. I can't think of his name right now. But Tyler, shit.
Are you talking about the Chupacabra kid?
What's that?
The Chupacabra kid?
No, Seth Rollins.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, he went as Tyler Black, and on the Independents. And I worked with. He was good, man. He was real good. I knew that day that I worked with him. I'm like, damn, this kid's gonna do all right. Next thing you know, there's Seth Rollins kicking ass. He was the world champion. And my sorry ass is still doing damn jobs on the Independent.
Well, I'll tell you what, we booked Mike Rain with you, and he was loyal to us after that, boy. He's like,
he was pretty good.
You guys gave me Marty Janetty. I can't believe it. I'm so grateful.
And you know what? I'm not gonna lie, man. I was working honky tonk that night.
It should have been you with Marty, yeah.
I should have been me and you, Marty. That's all I'm saying. But I let Mike have it.
Hey, Honky played the song over and over. It was like the first 10 minutes of the match was him singing that song. There's a honky tonk man. I'm cool. I'm cocky. I'm bad.
Bad.
The test of strength, stomping my fingers. Yeah,
I know, man.
Gimmick,
he does the same fucking show every time we book him. Just a different dude. Come on, Honky. Yeah. I know you got more than 6 moves. Use them.
No, and he was the longest running Intercontinental Champion with them 6 moves.
That's right. But I'll tell you, man, nobody like that night. What was me, you, Chris, Honky went out to that karaoke bar and met Michael Porter.
Yeah. Oh, did he die?
Yeah. He
did, didn't he? Yeah, I liked him, man.
Well, WrestleShoot, had started off with me and Mike on the actual radio when we used to have you call in there, but. Yeah, Mike passed, and he had. I think he had a heart attack, but he had cancer, went through remission, but it kept coming back and going away. Then finally,
that sucks so bad, man.
Michael was a fucking. Cheers to you, Mike. You were a hell of a man.
Just a great guy.
He was pretty good at what he did.
At least he got to die in his sleep.
Yeah. He had I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna mention this one girlfriend he had. Yeah, I'll be quiet in case he had because he had a wife or something.
No, I don't. He was only married once for like 8 minutes.
Yeah, me too. 4 days.
God damn. Well, it's good to hear your voice, man. We were getting worried about you for a minute when you were trying to drink rubbing alcohol.
You remember that? That was when I was living in Jersey. You ain't got shit else to do.
I remember you called me. You went, "Hey, is rubbing alcohol safe to drink?" I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? No, don't do that."
I went ahead and tasted it. Oh my God, was it horrible?
Oh, I can imagine.
Well, back in the days when I used to do cocaine. You'd melt, you'd burn down the impurities out of the coke, so you freebase.
Right.
You smoke the coke, and you'd have to have like 80, I think it was 85% or better.
Right.
Of alcohol, rubbing, alcohol, and I got the idea of like, well, shit, might as well go ahead and see if I can get a buzz from the alcohol.
Holy shit.
Ran out of the cocaine, so let me try this.
So hey, let me get. There's this thing that was released on TV that Behind the Titantron about you. You saw it, right?
I don't know what did it say about me.
It was the downfall of Marty Janetty.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, is it like a 15-minute video thing or something?
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
Oh, they didn't even get half the shit right.
That's what I said when I was watching. I was like, no, come on. I know firsthand the shit he was doing, and it wasn't that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they had some things, close, but I mean, it was just inaccurate as hell. I mean, I don't give a shit. I still kept me on TV.
That's right. There's still some publicity. Let me ask you this though: was it right that in Boston you threw hands with a cop, or did they make that up?
No, you mean Tampa?
The Tampa nightclub. Did you?
Yeah,
really?
Because you know what happened? They grabbed the girl I was with. We were doing cocaine. I didn't know that she was selling it though, and we went to it was called Yucatan Liquor Stand. Great place in Tampa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it ain't there no more, but it was like the club in Tampa. And she's, we're in there. She was 20 years old. She was she stripped. She was a dancer at the Dollhouse, which was right next door. And old Frankie Lancaster, I think was his name. He, one of the boys. He was working. He's working the door that night. And he goes, Marty, we know she's underage. He goes, just don't get. We're going to let y'all in, but don't let her, get in any trouble because she's underage. She's 20. He's supposed to be 21. Motherfucker, she didn't go in there, and one of the first girls was somebody I'd been messing with, named Colleen, and Angela was her name, the one that got us in all the shit. Colleen came up and hugged me like, hey, how are you doing? Here comes Colleen swinging away like jealous ass little 20-year-old, and starts swinging away for fighting, and I'm trying to pull them apart. And like the police, they're like, y'all got to go. And she's stuffing like little packets, like you sell little grams.
Yeah.
She's stuffing packets of, 1 gram packets in my pocket. I didn't know she was doing that though.
Oh no.
And she's sticking it in my pocket like, don't leave me, go with me. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go with you, idiot. I got to fuck you still. Boy, man, when we got outside, his name was Hopper. He was the main guy. He was trying to get her to show an ID, and obviously she couldn't have one, because she was underage. So she kept turning her like with her purse, turning away from him, and he kept trying to go around. And she was turning like her purse and her body, and putting her back to him because she still had packets of cocaine in there, and she didn't want him to see it all. I just didn't understand. I was just like, just say you ain't got an ID, idiot. What are you doing? And he grabbed at her purse and she started kicking. She kicked him in the shin and he bellied the back to her, man. He picked her up and wham. This is outside in front of the club. And it was reaction. I mean, it wasn't like, I got to fuck her. Don't hurt her. It wasn't that so much as that you picked her. She was a little girl, man. She was like 5'1", probably 105 pounds. Built like a motherfucker too. I mean, big old titties, but nice bubble ass. For a white girl, she had an ass.
Dang.
But he threw her down on the concrete, out in front of the club, and he grabbed her by the back of her head, her hair. Grabbed her hair, her head, and he pounded. He got the pound at one time on the concrete. He was gonna do it over and over. When I saw that. I reacted. I underhooked him, under the arms and snatched him up. I said, get off her. Before I realized, oh shit, I just,
that's
touched the cop. and then another one jumped me from behind. And, I was pretty good at martial arts. And I never punched any of them. They all had it in their police report. He did not strike us. And we didn't strike him, but they tried though. They tried. I would just sidestep them and embarrass the shit out of them. I mean, the whole club was out there watching after a little bit, but I never punched. No, never punched. It ended up being 3 of them. The black cop is the one that saved me because he's actually grabbed me from behind too. And I bent like, you bent over, like sort of like a snap mare, right? You throw them over.
Right.
And I seen it because I thought it was somebody from the club jumped me from behind. When I snap, like kind of snap mare kind of thing over. And I seen it was a policeman. I'm like, oh shit. I threw my hands. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He goes, it's okay. I should have announced I was a cop. It's okay. But his police report kind of saved me a little bit. Because he said Mr. Janetty did not strike any of us. He was only, defending in what he thought might have been excessive force. Because, if somebody uses too much force on somebody, for an arrest, like what they were doing to Angela, you're actually allowed to, kind of stop them.
Right.
I mean, you can't beat them up or nothing, but if it's excessive force, you can stop them from, using excessive force for an arrest. And he wrote it in the report. That I still had to do house arrest. Remember we did the barbershop window?
Yes, sir.
And then I was gone for 6 months, and we had to just put it in the storyline that I got hurt bad. I was actually at house arrest for 6 months.
That damn bracelet.
Because the policeman, his name was Hopper. He came up to me and he cuffed me up and stuff. When I actually put my hands out and let them, as long as they weren't going to hit me, I said, yeah, go ahead. Don't. If you try to hit me, I can still use my feet. I'm pretty good. But he cuffed me up, and he comes over and tells me, he goes, how am I going to explain this to my son? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, my son has got your posters on the wall. I got to go home and tell him I arrested you. And I was like, well, don't arrest me then. he said, and I told him, I said, well, you were beating up a girl, and that girl happens to be my date tonight. And he was like, you don't understand police protection, because when she was turning away with her purse, he was saying like she could have had a gun.
Yeah,
in there.
going for a weapon. Yeah.
Concern.
But he didn't have to pound her, bounce her head off the damn concrete. That was the reason I grabbed him. And all I did is like underhooked his arms and snatched him. Because you get excited, man. I snatched him right up, to his feet. He turned around like, what the fuck?
All right, listen, I got to ask you. I went on Facebook into one of the groups, and I said, dude, we're going to have Big Bad MJ up on the show. I'm going to take the best question and ask him that on the podcast. And the best question I got was, this guy wanted to know if it was true that you was getting walked out of a hotel in handcuffs and Macho Man showed up and saved you by giving some autographs.
Yeah,
I've heard this story.
That's true.
Yeah, in Denver. To me and Sean actually got into it physically. And Sean, either I can fight pretty good or he can't fight worth a shit.
I hear that about him.
Yeah, I don't think he's, I think he's a rich, he's always been a rich, kid. We got into it, man. And Roddy Piper stirred that shit up. The only thing
Get out of here,
Piper about,
Piper stirring shit? What the hell you say?
What?
The hell you say? Piper stirring up shit? No, I don't believe it.
And I got mad at Piper that next day. He come up and he wanted to hug me. I'm like, now get your ass away from me. Why didn't you break the shit up? He goes, oh my God, you was mad about something. I wasn't going to get in the middle of that. He kept saying something about kicking. And Sean had threatened me the night before. And what it was, back then we didn't have cell phones. And what we would do was like, you go, after a show, you go do a Denny's or whatever, you order your food, and then you go call your wife, while you're waiting for your food. So
right.
you get it, you get that out of the way. And he went, I had a girlfriend at the time, and I was trying to save money. I just called her like twice. It was 10-day tour. But he come back, oh man, he was pissed off. He sits down, he's slinging his I say furniture, like his knife and fork and stuff, and he's like throwing it around his bed. And I'm like, what's going on, brother? My fucking wife. And it was his first wife, Teresa. Man, I shouldn't be saying names, but
yeah, fuck it. This is WrestleShoot. We shoot straight.
And he goes,
no punches.
He said, I said, Teresa, he goes, I said, what happened? If you want to talk about it, I'm right here. And he was, oh man, he was so mad. He goes, she went to a fucking high school football game last night. And I kind of laughed a little bit, like, and he says, the fuck's so funny? You ever laugh about my wife again, I'll kick your teeth down your throat. And I said, first of all, little bastard, I was laughing at you. You're fucking upset because you went to a football game. What kind of shit is that? And I said, second of all, go ahead and try to kick my teeth on my throat. Go ahead. He just gave me a bad attitude. And the next night, he put his hand, he pushed me. And so, I still had that pent up from where he said that. And that's what Roddy Piper said. He goes, you kept saying something about, oh, you're going to kick my teeth down my throat, huh? You're going to kick my teeth down my throat. So I guess it really did bother me that he said that to me. I guess while I was, giving him a few, fists to the face, I was saying that to him. But, so the police, I will say this, because it started inside the hotel room. And, once I was on top of them, and, giving them a feel, I got up to walk
Throwing
away.
Throwing the heat.
Throw it in there.
The what?
Throwing the heat.
Yeah. and I walk away, and he tackled me from behind. But like I said, I was pretty good with martial art. I rolled right through and right back on top. But it was out in the hallway. People were opening the door, and at the time we were like, 5'11", and he was 6'1", and we were 230 pounds, and we were built, we were working out hard those days. And, some people looking out, and they're like, God damn, these two big guys are just beating the shit out. and they would open the door and look, and they'd go right back in. And they sent, they called the front desk. At first, the elevator doors, they ding, and here comes a little Barney Fife looking guy. and I was mad. I was still, in the heat of the moment. I'm like, what are you going to do, motherfucker? And he comes out the elevator towards us, right? What are you going to do, motherfucker? And he turns around and goes right back. He punches and he took off. And then they called the real police. And then they, the real police showed up. That's where, Hey, Rob, it was close, man. I was still, in the heat of the moment, you're not acting quite right.
Right.
And police, a real policeman came off, Denver police guy, he came off the thing, and I was like, what do you want to fucking do? And he pulled his gun. And he kind of was aiming at me. And I kept walking towards him, and I was like, what are you going to fucking do? You going to shoot me? And he actually raised it up. He raised it up a little, and I remember him saying, "Son, don't make me do this."
Oh, wow.
And wanted to, we had real fast, and Ann might have saved my life because Ann was one of the girls there. Some people call them ringbacks. I don't like to call them that, but one of the girls that were,
Wait a minute. Now wait a minute, Marty. Rat is a title. It's prestige. That means the wrestlers is gonna fuck you, as opposed to them other dumb bitches that don't know how to get it done. Rats is a good title.
Yeah, but do you know, like rock and roll bands, they don't call their girls rats.
No, they call them groupies. Rats is our groupie.
Well, that's what we go with. I'd rather go with groupie than a rat. A rat. A ring rat. I mean, damn, man. We're the ones gonna fuck them, and we're gonna call them rats.
Now fuck that. I say rats is a good thing. Fuck that, and fuck you, Chris.
Well, I guess it is. If you throw about 7 or 8 inches of dick to him, I guess it is honor everything. But so she yelled at me. It was like I was in a trance. I was still walking towards him. And he was aiming the gun right at my head, man. But she goes, Marty, stop. And I kind of snapped out of it. Thank God, because he probably would have had to shoot me or something.
So they grab you up in cuffs and they walk you downstairs?
So he went ahead, I put my hands in, he cuffed me up, put my arms around my back, cuffed me up.
Wait, did you say he choked you or cuffed you?
Cuffed.
Oh, okay.
Handcuffed. Nah, he wouldn't have choked me. But so they're taking me out the front door of the hotel to the car. They were going to take me, I guess, to jail. And I had blood, because Sean, he got busted up a little bit, and there was blood all over the front of my clothes from where I was on top of him hitting him. And I had so much apology. That's like your friend, man. It's a shame that you could hit your friend like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt so bad about myself on that. But but he did kind of deserve it. But so I'm going out. I'm cuffed. They're taking me to the police car, and coming in is Randy Savage. And he's looking, they had no clue who I was, right? But they knew who Randy was immediately. They're like, oh, Macho Man, Randy Savage. Hey, man. He goes, yeah, what's going on right here?
What the hell's going on here?
Yeah. And they were like, he's looking at me trying to, there's blood all over the front of my clothes. Looked like it gutted a deer. There's blood all over the thighs, my pants and everything. And he's looking at me like, what the fuck's going on? And, I said, yeah, me and Sean kind of got into it a little bit. And he looks at them, he goes, well, yeah, brothers, what we do is a storyline. They're going to work against each other next time, so they're trying to set it up. And they were like, well, look at all they're pointing at my pants, because I had a bunch of it on my thighs from where I was over top of it. And they said, well, that blood, he goes, blood capsules, brother. Have you heard?
God bless Randy, man. That's great. Blood
capsules. And they wanted autographs. And he actually traded out. He goes, "You will let my friend go. I'll sign these for you." And so they did. They let me go because Randy, was signing their autographs, and they were like, they said, "Okay, we'll let him go to you, but if we come back, we have to take him in." And he goes, "Oh, you don't worry about that. Everything's fine." And but once he signed the autographs and shit, and me and him walking through the elevator, that's when he kind of looks over sideways to me. He goes, "Brother, what the hell is going on?"
Just like that.
All right, look, this is fucking fantastic. But you know what? Before we continue, there is a staple on this program that we do absolutely every show that we have totally neglected so far, and that is our Asshole of the Week segment. Now, I hear, pray tell, that maybe Mr. Janetty has this week's candidate in mind.
Well, so what had happened was, when you talk about like when you're in courtroom in front of a judge. Well, see what happened was, well, here comes some shit. But there was Zeus. Remember Tiny? He died. God rest his soul. I loved him so much, man. Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. The Hustler magazine, they had Asshole of the Month, and it would be a donkey with somebody's face in the asshole. and he cut out a picture of Zeus's head. He was going as Zeus. Debo from the movie Friday.
Right, Debo.
Debo.
You got knocked the fuck out.
You got knocked the fuck out.
You got goddamn
Yeah, man. Kurt, no, he cut out just like probably a program, the program for the show. They cut Zeus's head out. Remember he had that big Z fading into his head?
Yeah.
And he put that picture inside the donkey's asshole. So it was like Asshole of the Month. And he took the rest of the magazine. It was like a Hustler magazine, and he put it on top of Joey Morella's bag. He died too. Put it on top of his bag so it looked like Joey did it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he set him up, man. He put that damn thing, and Zeus got mad as fuck at Joey because he thought he saw the Hustler magazine sitting on top of his bag. Poor Joey was innocent as shit.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll add on to the Zeus being an asshole story. Michael Porter, when he was working with you guys over in WWF.
Oh, I know this one. Yes.
He says he walked back to Baby Earl to see if he wanted anything from concessions. And Baby Earl was standing next to Zeus. And Zeus looks at Porter and says, "I want 4 beers, 5 hot dogs, order of nachos. Go get that for me." And Porter goes, "Oh, yeah, no problem." He wrote it all down. He goes, "Okay, I need some cash." And Zeus said, "I didn't say I'm going to buy it. I said you're going to get it." And Porter said, Porter says, "I don't know how long you've been with this company, but you're talking to the wrong motherfucker. I ain't buying you shit." And Zeus,
you know what was crazy with Zeus? Me and him got along. He loved me and I loved him. But he really didn't like a whole lot of the guys. After that shit happened with the asshole thing, he really didn't like the boys. But except me, he liked me and I liked him. He actually took me out, and do you know in L.A. back then, it might still be, but it was a kind of an underground thing. It was called the Black Playboy Club. And it would be, guys like Magic Johnson, Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, all the celebrity types. And it would be sort of the answer to like the Hugh Hefner Playboy Mansion, except it was black. It was all black. But, he took me there one night, and I got to be. I was the only white boy, and there were some white girls, but I was the only white boy in there, and I got to watch. I don't want to say. I'm not going to say Magic Johnson's name, but this guy Magic Johnson was. He went to the room like 4 different times. I was only there about an hour. I thought it was the coolest thing. I liked Eddie Murphy, and I liked Arsenio. I was cutting up with him. But I was watching Magic, kept going to the damn bedrooms with different girls. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say his name. I'm sorry. But I kept watching him go I mean, I bet in that 1 hour, I bet he took 4 different girls. 3 of them were white. There was only one black girl that he went with. I mean, and it was crazy. Like about, I don't know, a couple months later, we hear about him having AIDS, and I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, you fucked like 4 girls in 1 hour when I was there.
All right, real quick, Mario, let me finish this up for our listeners. Let me finish this up for our listeners because we put Porter over on this show like the bad motherfucker that he was. So he says Porter. So he says to Zeus, I don't know who you think you're fucking with, but I ain't buying you shit. Zeus stands up really aggressively and takes like 3 steps towards Porter. He said, I balled up my right hand, but I thought I was a dead man. And Zeus walked up.
I wouldn't have balled up my hand.
Zeus walked up to him and slapped him on the left shoulder and said, you are the baddest ring announcer I've ever seen in my life, and handed him $100 to keep the change.
Oh, damn, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. God, I miss Mike. I do. I loved him. We all loved him.
Yeah, I did too, man. Me and him were like good friends. Yeah.
He told me that one time you and Sean were wrestling the Nasties at some house show, some non-televised house show. And they got to the spot where Porter stumbled just a little bit on their announcing, on their team name. So they grabbed him and ran him into the pit stop. And then you and Marty ran over him through heat and saved Mike. That was one of his prize moments. He's like, man, Sean and Marty ran over there. None of this was set up. None of this was worked.
Yeah. It was what you call it, like spontaneous type thing.
He said they gave me the pit stop. And next thing I know, Sean and Marty are all over those guys. Boom, boom, boom. They bumped outside the ring. Sean and Marty each grabbed one of my arms and raised them up in victory, and then I got the hell out of there so they could do their match.
I remember that. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. You know, Michael Porter was the first ring announcer, as I know, in history to win a championship. Have I told you about this one?
No, I didn't know
that was on our show, man. We were working when we had WrestleShoot on the radio. We were working
in Sacramento,
in Marysville, outside of Sacramento.
Well, yeah, close to Sacramento. Yeah,
we were working this fucking gimmick where me and Chris were gonna go against Snuka and TK, and we were working it, pumping it, working it. Man, we sold this place out, and this show happened to be a fundraiser for his blind grandson to get a surgery to restore his sight, which we were able to do. But at the end of it, we did the screw job, so we beat. Actually, it was funny because I told Jimmy, how do you guys want to go over? And he's like, nah, brother. It's gotta be you guys, brother. YouTube, me and Sammy.
That was him. He didn't give a shit.
Me and Sammy, we do the gig, then we get the fuck up out of there. You guys go over. Oh shit! So we did the screw job and we beat him. And then Porter came out. Porter came out and we had some heat between him and I, where I was like, raise my hand, and he's like, oh, you cheated. So me and Chris beat the fuck out of him, right? So now Mike's on the ground and he's getting ready to do a gig.
Oh, yeah.
But Chris didn't know he was getting ready to do a gig. So right as Porter's bringing the gig up to his forehead, Chris throws a super stiff stomp between his shoulders, and Mike just stabbed himself. Boom.
Damn.
So he is fucking gushing blood. So, of course, TK and Snuka come out to make the save, and they whoop my ass. They take Porter's dead, bloody body and threw him on top of me, and the ref counted 1, 2, 3. And now Michael Porter wins the hardcore championship. So Porter was the first ring announcer ever.
Yeah, man, I loved him so much. When they got down, it's called the 24/7. Like, you can get pinned like in the parking lot.
Yeah. Well, they got rid of that for a while with the hardcore, but then they brought back a specific belt for that, right? They got a 24/7 belt now.
Yeah, yes, they do. Yeah.
Okay, so this week's
Chris. How was San Antonio?
It was great.
Man, it must have been. You stayed there for like fucking 8 days in a row.
Marty Janetty coming in hot.
I love it, man.
So, this week's official asshole of the week, according to Marty Janetty, in honor of Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, is Zeus. Zeus, brother. Yeah, Zeus.
Yeah. D-Bro.
Beats his chest.
You know what? We was in Des Moines. there was another time we was in Des Moines, and Dusty, I don't know if you remember Dusty Wolf.
Yeah.
He's a San Antonio boy.
We call him fake. We call him Fake Dust.
and remember, he did Doink. You know, he did one of the Doinks. So like 30 different people did Doink, but he was one of them that got to like officially be a Doink, the clown. And but they had him like, I hate to say it, but chauffeuring around. Yeah, but the only reason I hate to say it is because Dusty couldn't stand it. And Dusty, I love Dusty. He's a good friend of mine. But he was chauffeuring Zeus around. And we were in Des Moines. And, I guess Zeus was a Crip, and
really?
So, yeah. Huh. Yeah, because he got a red Cadillac. And he was like, I ain't getting it. And we're in Des Moines, Iowa. I'm like, come on, brother. There ain't no Bloods and Crips out here.
Yeah, this is fucking Des Moines.
He would not get in it. He would not get in that red Cadillac. They had to get him a different car, but he would not ride in it. And poor Dusty was like, God damn. What the fuck? Yeah, because he was a Crip, he would not be in a red. I was getting caught dead in a red car.
I gotta share one story with you before we get on too far, Marty, about with the people about Marty. When we was when the four of us, me, Chris, you, and Honky all met Porter up at that bar. Yeah. Then I don't know if you even remember this, but that night there was this poor unfortunate soul of a woman who thought for some reason she was gonna fuck Marty Janetty.
She might have.
No, she didn't, because she tried. She went for it, and you looked at her and said, "Oh, sweetheart, you are a wonderful person, but there's no way in fuck that I'm putting my dick in you. I'm going to buy you a drink, and then
She was like 300 pounds?
Yeah, and we're going to part friends. I'm going to buy you a drink, and we're going to part friends." Yeah, that was...
But I love all my girls. I love all the girls.
But the thing is, you handled that so fucking well that she didn't walk away angry.
Yeah, experience.
Yeah. How do I get out of this one? Oh, I'll go to game plan 4. Here.
You know what? Honky talked about that on a shoot interview. He goes, Marty wouldn't give her no dick. He kept teasing her with the dick. And I was like, I did not tease her.
Well, do you remember when we went through...
He's telling me that. We're sitting drinking. He's like, he's teasing everybody's dick, damn it. I'm telling you. Like that.
When we all went through the taco, and Honky got a rib on you that he kept until the next morning. We went through Taco Bell. There was that really, really big girl, and she was just going crazy when she saw Honky. And we pulled out.
Nia Jax.
And we pull out of the drive-thru, and he looks at me and goes...
I'm glad y'all didn't hear that.
Nia Jax. He looks at me and goes... Well,
I'm just kidding. She's a sweetheart.
He looks at me and goes, "Well, I guess I'm going to have to fuck her." And you popped up in the back seat and said, "What did you say? Get out of here." He's like, hey, Marty, don't you be a hypocrite now, goddammit. I'm gonna throw it on this girl so she brings her whole family. So that's gonna be like 40 extra people paid to the show tomorrow." And then the next morning, he was like, "Yeah, I called her after we got back from the bar and I fucked her." And you're like, "No, you didn't. No, you goddamn did not."
I love Honky. Even today, I love him to death. He is so funny. He finds the negative shit in the business and he points it out, but he makes it funny the way he tells about it.
Yeah. And what's great about Honky is when he's telling you a story, like halfway through it, he'll just stop and just stare right through you, waiting for a response, and he won't continue the story until you respond.
It's like an awkward,
it's an awkward silence. Yeah,
you're like, oh, I was going to say something.
We was up in Nova Scotia, way up North Canada, way up there,
cold country.
I think it was Halifax, and there's a promoter who I like him. I think his name was Mike, but whatever. We'll just go with Mike. And he was like, That goddamn stupid motherfucker don't pay us right. Did you see the house? He doesn't pay. You know how he talks so country ass, right? Like I do. Me too. I'm a Southern boy. But he's like, that motherfucker didn't pay us correct. Did you see the damn house? He ought to give us a bonus, that sorry motherfucker. And he'd walked right by the door, we was in his restroom, and you heard Honky talking about him. And he just sat there and listened for a few minutes. And then, Honky didn't see him, and I'm pointing. I'm like, Honky, look, he's right there. And Honky just kept going, and the guy goes, so what are you saying? And Honky goes, oh, I wasn't talking about you.
You know what? That old goddamn hillbilly sumbitch, he did that same shit with me and Chris. He's like, oh, they had a huge house. They ain't throwing us any extra coin. I stopped and said, hey, Honky, what if
he did it? He did that.
I said, hey, Honky, what if we tanked tonight? Would you have given us a discount? Fuck no.
Yeah,
well, then go fuck yourself, country.
Money back.
Yeah, then go fuck yourself, country. Get out of here.
Yeah, he did that though. I mean, like I said, he was hilarious to listen to. But like in that case with that dude, oh my God, I'm sitting and I love Honky and I love that promoter.
Everybody loves Honky, but he is a shit disturber.
Yeah, he is that. He is.
But everybody still loves him.
It's funny when it's not about you.
Right. Oh my God! Did you hear about the? I don't know if you heard about this, man. But there was a show I was on where Honky was on with Virgil, and he went to the blackboard and he drew.
That's already funny.
It's funny before the punchline. So Honky's on a show with Virgil. Bump.
Yep.
But he gets to this dry erase board, and Honky can draw. He could have a cartoon career, and he draws a big old picture of this big old silverback gorilla, and then writes Virgil.
Oh God!
And Virgil walked by and saw it, and Honky's got this big old shit-eating grin and would not break his stare, and Virgil didn't even look at him.
Hey, let me tell you what Virgil used to do, like at conventions, we get when we sign like with NFL players or baseball players and shit. They're all signing for $100. Here's our cheap asses doing 20s and 10s for 8x10s. Oh, Virgil's out there. He'd walk up to people.
Yeah, what's your name?
Yeah. What's your name? Kenny. And he started writing her name down, and then they would be all smiling like he was giving it to him, right? And he goes, $25. And they're like, oh, I didn't want to buy that. He goes, well, you sat there and watched me put your name. I can't sell this now.
I can't sell this now. What the fuck? Yeah. Then he started getting all crazy eyes and shit. Virgil lives out here somewhere close to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's shoot over there around Joe Namath. What was that place called?
Go fuck yourself, Virgil. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Hey, Verge. I know I've said this on the air before, and I know you've heard it. Fuck you, goddamn carny.
Fuck you, Virgil.
Shane Douglas lived there for a while. He might still.
Yeah, no, Shane's still here. I guess he's doing pretty well with his sobriety now, and I was talking to.
He had a problem for a minute.
Well, come on, he was smoking Percocets.
Well, I didn't know he had a problem with it. I don't see the problem.
But Preston Steele, we did a really cool interview with him, and he tried to get Shane to come on our show, but he's still a
good brother, man.
He's still getting a hold of his sobriety and trying to work his steps and trying to stay focused. So I'm confident.
Damn, I never knew he got that. I never knew that. He got that serious with him.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you start smoking fucking pills, for Christ's sakes, what's next? The wrong side of the grass.
The pain pills will get you in a different place.
Every time. And you start smoking pills, your next stop is the wrong side of the grass, and that's it. And I'm very grateful because, I do a sobriety recovery podcast as well. So I'm really. Did you
get caught up at one time?
Oh yeah, dude. You know how I was doing coke back when we were hanging out. Well,
times
that by 10, dude. I got bad. I mean, I did
too. I started smoking it.
Well, I was selling it to support my habit, so I got 3 felony convictions from it.
Oh damn, brother!
You know what? It's okay, man, because that journey is now going to take me to a different level. It's going to take me to a place that I can help others, and I've been helping others.
Yes, and that's me too. That's one thing. They'll talk shit about me, like, "Oh, you drughead, motherfucker! You did all that." Yeah, who better to talk to your kids?
That's right.
I've been there,
That's
so
exactly
I can
right.
help the kids better than you can.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll just go ahead and do this quick little name drop that I've already got it set up with his daughter. That on the Smells Like Hope, the recovery podcast, Jake the Snake is going to do it on in April 1st.
I love him to death. You got to tell him hello for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had some experiences, bro. One time, and I shouldn't tell this, so I won't tell it. But one time he called me. He was in Boston, where I just was. I just had to do like a 4 or 5 day podcast. We do a party with Marty podcast. Well, and I was up there in Boston this whole weekend. And Howard Johnson's in Revere is where we all stayed. And Jake called me one time. And Jake, when you're doing the shit, like you kind of start whispering and looking out the windows and shit. Jake,
like in your own little zone or what?
Yeah. And Jake would call me. He'd go like this. Hey Marty. As soon as I hear that, I'm like, "Oh, you're doing this shit." I'll be right
you're in the black fog, Jake.
Yeah, and he would always want me to fuck the girl he was with because he didn't want her, to not like her, like him. So he'd have me come fuck him. And I come over, he's, "Marty," I said, "What room number?" "I'll be right there." And I go over, and he had the door, like, you got that little lever thing so the door don't close.
Yeah.
And I walk in, he's sitting there naked, and he points over there. And I come around the corner and look, and it was an office girl, and we had just got, they just told us no fraternizing, like office personnel, you weren't supposed to be fucking them. And he points over her, and he wanted me to fuck her because he didn't want to lose her as a friend, so he wanted her to get satisfied. But, I would do it. So and I didn't mind helping people like that. Especially if they look good, and she looked good. Yeah. But she had the snake. Remember, Damien? She had the snake, and she was sticking the tail end of it, up in her.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and the scales. Oh man, the scales were all around her. It was like, I was like, "No, I am not fucking that." There's snake scales all around her. When she was laying.
Man, Marty, you are a stuck-up son of a bitch. I see a girl putting a snake tail up her pussy. If I'm already hammered, I ain't gonna lie, dude. I would hit the fuck out of it twice. That would get
you should have been there then.
Well, why didn't you invite me, son bitch?
The snake loved it because his tip end of his tail was like curled.
Because the snake was getting more pussy than you guys. Of course he loved it.
The snake was happy.
So Marty, you're still working, yeah?
Right now, because I got ankle surgery.
Oh, that's right.
My left one. And then I got to get one. Got to get my other ankle. So I'm not working yet, but I might start back once the other ankle is done.
Well, I hope so, because let me tell you something, Marty. Let me tell you something that our listeners have already heard 100 times and are probably sick of.
Probably 101 times.
But me and Chris just bought the trademark to use the conquistadors. So we're gonna.
For what? You bought the trademark to what?
To the conquistadors.
Oh, damn, Jose Luis Estrada and Rivera.
Well, not anymore. Now it belongs to fucking Rob and Chris. And we're going to get out there. We're going to start hitting the indies, and we're going to go out there and start.
You got to wear a gold mask.
Of course. Dude, who are you talking to? Sorry. This is my first day at work. I don't get it. No, we're going to wear.
It is your first day, right?
Shut the fuck up. We're going to wear. We're going to wear pretty much the exact same classic fit that they used to wear.
You guys show me pictures. That's pretty cool.
I will. And our whole gimmick is going to be, we want to get out there and start working around all the territories, but we're going to job and put all the young guys over in every territory we go to.
Can you still bump?
Oh, dude, I can still bump, brother.
Really?
Are you kidding me? I was a bumping machine back when.
Yeah, I know. Working. Yeah, but that was 20 years ago.
25. Yeah. Hey, Marty, I think actually you're the one who told me pain is an afterthought. Go to work.
Yes, we don't even care.
And that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to go out there to these new territories, just like I told you, Jimmy and Sam, or Tonga, sorry, what Jimmy and TK did for us. They came to our territory, they put us over, they made us gold. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to jump different territories, put the young guys over, and make them gold. And
let me ask you.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask you and Chris both this. Which one of y'all would be first in line if you could fuck Sasha Banks?
Me. I'm fucking Sasha Banks. Fuck you, Chris. You're going to wait and take seconds. I'm fucking Sasha Banks first.
You know that Snoopy's like, I think it's Snoopy's cousin.
Oh yeah?
Niece, Snoop Dogg.
I don't give a fuck if her cousin is Johnny from the block.
Well, he's probably already fucked her.
I'm still putting my penis in her if I get a chance.
Oh, paper, rock, scissors. We'll do paper, rock, scissors.
No, you weren't paying attention. You weren't paying attention, and you lost.
All right.
She is a hot one, man. Little 5'1" or something. She's short, which makes it even better. Marty, you still in touch with Ivory? Who?
Ivory?
What's her, the wrestler girl?
Yeah, Lisa Moretti. Ivory.
Yeah. Why, you want me to have sex with her in public?
I don't like you even a little bit. No, I want to have sex with her in public. No, I want her to come on the show. We booked her a few times, but I don't got her number no more. If you could reach out to her for us.
I got it. One of my phones I lost.
Oh, good one. Good one.
I know I do I lose my phones all the fucking time, man. and you know they cost like $300 or $400. That's the cheaper end ones. Yeah, and I keep getting the cheap ones because I'm going to lose it. Well, I get an iPhone for $1,500. I'm going to lose it tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Get the cricket throwaways. What's that, Chris?
I was going back to the sex in public thing. I'm still stuck on that.
All right, fine. You can have sex with Marty in public.
What?
Yeah, that's what you
want. No.
Oh, that's what he wants, Marty. Be a team player. Be one of the boys.
Ivory.
I'll get her number for you. I got it somewhere.
I'll tell you what, dude. Out of the two of us, Chris, you were the one who had a shot with her over me, man. She was on you.
I know. That was so
well, she was. I ain't seen her in years. I wonder if she's still pretty.
Dude, you know what? Ivory is attractive, but man, how she worked in the ring made her beauty so much stronger to me, man. I've always crushed on Ivory, even back when she was a Tina Ferrari.
Who do you think was a better worker, Trish Stratus or Sasha Banks?
Trish.
Yeah, Trish was a badass. Well, Sasha's pretty good.
No, but Trish took the.
Trish was in another stratosphere.
Well, here's the thing with Trish. She showed up looking like a bikini model around a bunch of bikini models, but she showed up when she broke in.
She worked hard.
She got better over time.
Yeah, when she broke in, she wasn't very good, but rapidly.
Yeah, you could see her improve. That's what I liked about it.
She got good really, really fast.
Yeah, you know what else? Mickey James is pretty good.
You know, it's like China and Trish and Ivory and Molly Holly. Like when they stopped.
Oh, Molly, I ain't seen her in a while.
Isn't she wonderful? When they stopped, women's wrestling died for like a decade, man. It was horrible.
Ain't it crazy now? Can you imagine?
It's great now.
In our heyday with all those divas.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and you know what? I'm going to give that one big shout out to Natty Neidhart for being the one who revived women's wrestling. It was her.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. I love her to death. You know, of course, I love her dad.
Marty, not sexually. I like Mickey James, though. Marty, that was a good pick, by the way. Mickey James.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you this real quick. One time, me and Amber, we roomed together. And we never roomed together. You know, me and Sean always roomed together, but, you know, I was having a hard time with him. And Brett and Amber didn't room that much at all, probably that I know of. But we got hammered. I think it was in Boston, too. We got hammered, and we woke up. I woke up. Amber was over on the corner. You were hearing this, like, psst, and I'm looking, and he's pissing in his Halliburton. He thought it was a toilet. I'm like, Amber. He goes, what? I said, you're pissing in your bag. And he looked, and he goes, fuck, I am, ain't I? he said, glad I didn't have to shit. but so he laid back down. We went back to sleep for a little bit. Woke up a little bit later. He's sitting there. He's, how you tug on his beard. How you would do that.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
He's tugging on his beard, and he's staring at the ceiling, and I'm looking at him. I mean, his eyes are just going across the ceiling, the whole room, and I didn't know what the fuck's he doing. And he looked over and saw me looking. He goes, "This is all very interesting." He says, "But this is not our room, is it?" I said, "No, we're in the girls' room." Well,
we have talked here a lot about the women wrestlers, but we have not given absolutely any credit to the great Charlotte Flair, and she needs to get that credit.
She's pretty good, huh?
She's great. She's her dad. Like, David Flair fucking sucks, man, but Charlotte, man, she's great.
I've never seen her in person. She looks tall.
She does look tall, and she looks very, very splittable.
Have you never met her in person?
I wish.
I heard she was 5'11".
You leave that alone. Rick will tear your ass up.
I'll fucking fight Ric Flair right now to get a crack at Charlotte. Come on, 106-year-old Rick. Come show me. I'll ride your fucking Space Mountain.
My money's on Rick.
I'll fucking ride Space Mountain.
You know how embarrassing that's going to be to get whipped by a 100-year-old?
I'll put $100 on Rick right now.
Oh, fuck, what?
Yeah, I think I'll go with Rick, too. I love you, Rob, but no, he's still a bad boy.
Oh, hey, by the way, this just in. Fuck you guys.
I love you, Rob.
I would bet on you against, okay, Mick Foley. I would bet on you over Mick Foley.
You know what I'll do, dude? I'll fucking bring 100 shots of, what was that, kamikazes and an 8-ball of Coke. You
got to stick on one night.
I'll bring Rick 100 kamikazes and an 8-ball and send him to the corner. I won. Fight's over.
When we was wrestling in St. Louis at the Kill Auditorium, we stayed at the Marriott right across the street from the airport, because you just go across the street, to be there in the morning. Oh, I was up there eating in the restaurant, and it was like, on the top floor, like 13th floor, whatever the fuck it was. And Flair didn't, he didn't see me. He came in and he paid a 50, which ain't shit. But I mean, he gave him a 50 and said, "My shots make them water," because he would buy everybody shots and do shots with them.
Right.
But he'd already went up ahead of time and paid out the bartender to make his water, so he could outdo everybody. So I walked up and he goes, "What are you just doing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And he handed me the one. I said, "Well, here, give me yours and you do mine." That's, Italian. That's how we do it. It's the look on his face.
I'll tell you this. The one time that I got to meet old Kurt Hennig, he told me a story, and he said, "I want you to know in advance why we're doing this, why the Flair rule is in effect." And that, he bought Kirk's, Flair's like, "Oh, yeah, this round's on me, boys. Woo!" And Hennig said, no, we're going to do a round of jack shots. And when they all put their glasses up, Rick fucking tossed his shot over his shoulder.
Over his shoulder. He did that all the time. He did that a lot.
So he goes, so Hennig says, the Flair rule's in effect. Where you pour your shot in your mouth, you gargle twice, then you swallow it.
Yeah. Kurt loved to do the gargle thing. You got to put your Jack Daniels, you got to gargle it. That was the Flair rule.
All right, and here's where we're gonna have to cut it off. Sorry this is so abrupt, but there was really nowhere to fade out. But that's gonna wrap it up for part 1 of this very awesome interview with Marty Janetty. And next week we'll be dropping part 2, so make sure to check it out. Thanks.